Welcome back to my shop. Today I'm going to rebuild my gluing platform for open segments. Now when I first started doing open segments, there wasn't much information around anywhere on how to do them. There was a company that made an indexing wheel for the lathe and a small gluing platform for the lathe to put on open segments. But they went out of business. Apparently they didn't sell many, so they quit making them. So I decided I could make an index wheel and I could make a gluing platform, which is what I did. And I've been using them. And I've made many open segment turnings. I've made some that are 19 inches in diameter and 37 inches tall, maxed out the lathe. Sold for a couple of $1,000s or more. Well, I have since then seen a stamper or stomper, whatever you want to call it, made out of plastic where you put the open segments in and you glue them all on at once. And for the life of me, I can't understand how you can get them perfectly aligned up. So I really don't have much opinion of that. I'm sure people use it and make some good turnings. And I've seen where people have made a 360 index, put a vertical attachment on it where they can put the chuck, and then they got a gluing platform and an indicator that runs around the circle. And I'm sure that works too, and I'm sure they make good turnings with that. But they've got to put the segments on, and again, they've got to clamp them for a certain period of time. Doing it on the lathe, I clamp the segments on for 15 seconds, so it's just as fast, and it's done right on the lathe, and I get excellent results. Well, I made my first gluing platform, then I got a bigger lathe and I modified a platform, and I was in a big hurry and I didn't really build a good platform. It works, but it's got problems, and I decided I needed a better one. Here's the one I got and I've been using. It's made out of MDF, and it's just really a box. But it's got a piece of sheet metal over the top. It's 18 gauge and it's aluminum. I did not extend the box out all the way, which was a mistake. Lets it bend a little bit out here. It gets out here and there's a little bend, and it drives me crazy. And it ain't all that strong aluminum. And then being just attached to the top, it's got a little play in it. But I got a lot of work surface, is what I like on it. And it extends past the center on this side, which you don't really need to do. It does need to extend on this side. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and build me another one. I measured the lathe, and my bed is 8 inches across. That means 4 inches each direction from center. So I decided that I'm going to make a base that extends 4 inches one way to cover the bed, and then 12 inches the other way. I only need really 10 inches because that's the furthest out I can glue a segment is 10 inches on a 20-inch lathe. But I need the 2 extra inches so I can put a stop block on it. This is the stop block I had on the old one. It's really crude, although it works. But I decided I want something better than that. So I made all the dimensions. I measured to the center of the spindle, to the very center, which is 10 inch, but it actually comes out to 10 1/8 inch, and I want this to sit dead center. Now I am going to extend it to the one side about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, just a little bit. And I'm going to mark where the center is so I can measure. And I'm going to make it out of MDF, and I'll probably make an overkill. This is my old gluing platform here. And I made it in a big hurry, and it's not the best in the world. The metal hangs over the edge, and I don't like the metal covering the top. It gets a little flimsy on the edge. So I'm going to build a new one. I'm going to make the base the same from front to back, 8 inches. I'm going to make it, again, 4 inches to the center to cover this side, from 4 inches to the center. But this side, I'm going to come out 12 inches. Now I got a 20-inch lathe, which means the center is 12 inches above the bed. Actual measurement on my lathe is 10 1/8 inch. So theoretically, I only need to come out 10 inches, because that's as big a circle as I could glue on. But I need 2 more inches because I need a stop block. I need somewhere to put a stop block, so I'm going to make a 12 inch. This is my old stop block here, but I'm going to have something better than that on it when I finish. Now if you glue open segments on the lathe, you got a 20-inch lathe, you can actually glue segments up to just 20 inches and they'll clear, because they're perfectly centered when you glue them on the lathe. And this one is just basically a box. It's built with MDF. I got a whole bunch of MDF. A friend of mine got restationed in California. He didn't want to carry a bunch of MDF, so he gave some to me. It's got a guide on the bottom. Actually, it was too thick. I made a new guide here that just fits in. It's a little bit thinner. It'll work fine. And what I'm going to do, instead of covering it with tin, I bought some angled aluminum. Nice, smooth, pretty piece. This, I cut off the end 12 inches, smoothed up the edges so they won't be cutting me all the time. And I am going to mount it on the new one, just mount it on the front, like this. That should work a whole lot better. At least I hope it does. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut pieces and just build a box is all I'm going to do. Basically the same as this box. I'm going to make the top the same width, 5 inch, but I'm going to make it come out from the center 12 inch. I'm going to extend it just a little bit on that side of center, maybe a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch is all. I'll show you why I do that later. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the material for the box. I've got all the pieces cut now and ready to glue up. I'm going to glue them all up in one time. And here's my tape measure. This is sitting 12 inches from the center. This is sitting here, so just about a 1/16 inch over center. And this is sitting out 12 1/8 inch really. And its height is right at center. So I'm going to glue it all up first. Then I'm going to drill a hole for the clamp. I got a piece here cut that I'm going to use as a guide. After I get it glued up, I'm going to have to align the guide on it. I'll show you how I do that after I get it glued up. So this is all ready to go. All I got to do is just glue it up. I'm going to do that in one glue up. I've got to put a hole for my clamp. This is 4 inches from the edge to the center of the bed. So I'm coming in 4 inches for it. I'm putting it in 1.5 inches, so my knob will fit right there. My knob for my clamp. And then this guide, I'm also putting a hole 4 inches in dead center in the guide. Then I'm going to have to glue the guide on. I'll show you how I center it up, how I get it lined up right. Now when I glue this guide on, where'd that go? I don't believe I did that. When I glue this guide on, I want to make sure it's lined up on the bottom straight. So what I'm going to do is push it up against a flat faceplate. This one here is one I use for vacuum, but that'll work just fine. I'm going to put a bolt through it so I can clamp it after I get it lined up. Put just a little bit of glue on it. Don't take too much to hold it on. Okay, put it on close to what I think is right. Okay, got to righten that this time. Now I'm going to set it in. Push it up against the faceplate. That'll get it lined up. I'm going to have to put some weight on it to hold it down. Let me tighten that bolt up to hold it. There, that's got it lined up, it's got it clamped down. Now I can put a clamp on this end to hold it. That ain't. Have to do it here. Just let the glue dry for a while. I put one screw in it just to hold it, but it's not going to go anywhere. I'll let the glue dry some more before I pull that bolt out. Ah, yes. Yes, it slides good. Yeah, that's good. What I got to do now is put the aluminum on here, right flush with the top. That shouldn't be a problem at all. I'm going to do turn it upside down on a flat surface, pre-drill the aluminum, and then just put a couple of screws in it. Let me see exactly where I want this aluminum to go. Right flush with this end will be good. I put this on a flat surface upside down, clamped the aluminum down, drilled it, and put some screws in it. So this should be flush with the top now. Yeah, nice. Good. What I got to do now is put this over on the lathe and mark exactly where the center is on here. Put a scratch line right exactly where the center is so that I can measure from that line when I glue segments on. I've got it mounted up on the lathe now. I don't do real pretty. I do what works. I'm not going to paint it or anything. I might throw some shellac on it, maybe seal it up. But that's about it if I do. Got a clamp block on it now. Slides right well. I'm going to bring it right up. I got the center cone in the lathe. I'm going to bring it right up to it. It meets the center exactly in height. Tighten it down. And now I'm going to mark, I'm going to put a scratch mark right where the center is. That'll give me a spot to measure from when I put on segments. Make a little scratch right here. Get me a square. And make me a good scratch mark. And that's my 0. When I measure 3 inches out for a 6-inch ring to glue a segment on, yeah, right on. Well, here it is finished. I put a little shellac over it, but with MDF it just sinks right in. Maybe it'll help some. This slides easy enough along here. It comes out dead center. I've got a mark here where the dead center is. This aluminum piece is quite strong, well screwed on. When I clamp it down, it is solid, really solid, and this is solid. There's no bend, no movement, no rock, no shift, nothing. I built a stop block for it. I made a stop block for this that I think is much better than clamps and a piece of scrap. It slides along the aluminum in a slot I cut for it. It's a piece of real hard wood. I believe it's chichian. I cut a slot in it. It covers most of the aluminum, not all of it. I cut a notch in it because the previous segment in the ring has to clear, and it might be larger than the ring you're putting on. It will be at times. So I cut a notch for it to clear. I put a screw in the bottom, a nylon screw. I use nylon so it won't harm the aluminum. I put a epoxied knob on it. Give me something to hold on to. I put it on the bottom so that when I clamp it down, it'll be tight on the top. Otherwise, if I put it on the top, it might make a small gap here that the segments could catch on. It seems to work pretty good. I'll find out when I build the next turning. Made it out of hardwood. I put a nylon screw on the bottom to clamp it. We'll see how that works. The reason I put it on the bottom and not the top, if I put it on the top and clamped it, it would tend to pick this up and might make a little gap right here that the segments could catch on. I want this down flush when I glue the segments on. I think this will work really well. And I'm going to find out next project I build. I'm going to make a 36 or 32 segment per ring turning. Pretty good size with a nice pattern. But this is it, ready to go. Probably an overkill, but I'd rather have an overkill that was strong and stable than I would one that had any movement at all. Plus I got some good work surfaces in it, place to set the glue, keep a paper towel to clean the glue spreader with, which is my finger. So there you have it. And like I said, this aluminum here, this aluminum angle works real well. I put plenty of screws in it to hold it. Thank you for watching, and next video I hope to be making another turning. Well, there it is, folks. There's the new glue-up jig, table, platform, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care what it's called, as long as it works. New stop block. Pretty hefty all around. Well, I appreciate you watching. And next video I'm going to start making a turning similar to this. Not exactly like this. I might use different woods, a little bit different shape. It's got 32 segments around it. But the first video on it I'm going to do is making a floating bottom. It's got a floating bottom in it. I'm going to do a video just on the floating bottom. And when I get that finished, then I'm going to do another video on the build of the turning like this. So I hope you like my video, and come back and see me next time. Thank you.